The JonBenet Ramsey Mystery, the unsolved murder of a 6-year-old beauty pageant contestant. The tragic and mysterious case of JonBenet Ramsey, a 6-year-old beauty pageant contestant, has captivated the public for decades. On December 26, 1996, JonBenet was found dead in her family's Boulder, Colorado home, sparking one of the most highly publicized and puzzling murder investigations in American history. Despite years of investigation, media scrutiny, and numerous theories, the case remains unsolved, and the question of who killed JonBenet Ramsey continues to haunt the public imagination. This story has been marked by controversy, media sensationalism, and a series of theories that have ranged from the plausible to the far-fetched. The early years of JonBenet Ramsey. JonBenet Patricia Ramsey was born on August 6, 1990, in Atlanta, Georgia, to John and Patsy Ramsey. The Ramseys were an affluent family, and JonBenet was the youngest of their 2 children, with an older brother named Burke. The family moved to Boulder, Colorado, in 1991, where John Ramsey worked as a successful businessman. Patsy, a former beauty queen, became a stay-at-home mother, and JonBenet herself soon followed in her mother's footsteps, participating in beauty pageants from a young age. JonBenet's beauty pageant career began when she was just 4 years old, and she quickly became a rising star in the world of child beauty contests. She was often praised for her stunning looks, poised behavior, and natural charm. She competed in a number of regional and national pageants, where she won several titles, including Little Miss Colorado. Her participation in pageants became a defining aspect of her young life, and her family was often seen attending these events with pride. Despite the outward appearance of a picture-perfect family, there were tensions within the Ramsey household. Some reports indicated that Patsy Ramsey was deeply invested in JonBenet's pageant career, sometimes to the point of obsession. At the time of JonBenet's death, Patsy had been preparing her daughter for the upcoming Christmas Star pageant. JonBenet was described as a lively, happy, and intelligent young girl, but she was also known to be a bit of a tomboy, enjoying playing outside and engaging in regular childhood activities. The discovery of JonBenet's body. The events surrounding JonBenet's death began on the morning of December 26, 1996. JonBenet had been spending Christmas Eve with her family, celebrating at their home in Boulder. After a long night of festivities, the family awoke the next morning to find that their daughter was missing. At around 5:30 a.m., Patsy Ramsey found a ransom note on the staircase leading to the second floor of their home. The note, written in a scrawled, strange handwriting, demanded $118,000 in cash for JonBenet's safe return. The letter, which was unusually long for a ransom note, also contained peculiar statements such as, "We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves." The note was signed, Victory, and it made no reference to the actual kidnapping of JonBenet, but rather emphasized a demand for money in exchange for her life. In response, Patsy immediately called 911, telling the operator that her daughter had been kidnapped. The police arrived shortly after and began their investigation, but there were several significant missteps in the early stages of the investigation that would complicate the case later on. Around 1 p.m. that day, after a search of the house had been conducted by family members and police, John Ramsey, JonBenet's father, found his daughter's lifeless body in the basement of the family home. She had been wrapped in a white blanket and found in a small, unfinished room, located behind a door leading to the cellar. Her face was covered with duct tape, and her hands and wrists were bound with a cord. There was a garrote, made from a piece of JonBenet's own clothes, around her neck. JonBenet's body showed signs of blunt force trauma to her head, which was likely the cause of her death, as well as signs of sexual assault. The discovery of her body set off a series of events that would lead to years of media frenzy, police investigation, and an ongoing search for answers. The investigation begins upon finding JonBenet's body. The police initially believed they were dealing with a kidnapping gone wrong. However, as the investigation progressed, it became increasingly clear that JonBenet's death was not the result of a random abduction, but likely an inside job. The ransom note's odd nature and the fact that no money was actually demanded made investigators suspicious. Further examination of the scene revealed no signs of forced entry into the Ramsey home, which suggested that JonBenet's killer was someone familiar to her. The Boulder Police Department's handling of the case came under intense scrutiny, as numerous errors were made in the early stages of the investigation. Family members were not immediately treated as suspects, and the crime scene was not properly secured, leading to contamination of evidence. These early mistakes would haunt the investigation and lead to the eventual involvement of the FBI and other law enforcement agencies. Despite the family's initial cooperation, the investigation into JonBenet's murder soon turned toward them. The Ramseys' behavior during the investigation was scrutinized by the media and police alike. The fact that the family did not immediately call the police upon discovering the ransom note was questioned, as was the fact that JonBenet's body was found so close to home. Furthermore, the ransom note's odd phrasing and the absence of a real demand for money led to the suspicion that someone within the Ramsey household might have been involved. Theories and suspects. As the investigation into JonBenet's murder continued, numerous theories and suspects emerged. The media, eager for answers, latched onto every new detail, often speculating about the family's involvement. Below are some of the most widely discussed theories. The intruder theory. The most widely known theory suggested that an unknown intruder had entered the Ramsey home and committed the murder. This theory was fueled by the presence of the ransom note and the idea that the killer might have broken into the home. Some evidence, such as a boot print found near the body, seemed to support this theory. However, there was no conclusive evidence of an intruder, and many believe the lack of forced entry is a key detail pointing to someone inside the home. The family involvement theory. Another theory posited that someone within the Ramsey household had been responsible for JonBenet's death. Initially, the main suspects were Patsy and John Ramsey, and later, their son, Burke. Patsy was accused of accidentally killing JonBenet in a fit of rage, possibly over a childish outburst or the child's behavior. Some speculated that JonBenet's death was the result of a botched cover-up. The fact that Burke Ramsey was never officially cleared by the police led to continued suspicion, though no evidence directly linked him to the murder. The burglary gone wrong theory. Some theorists believed that JonBenet's murder was the result of a failed burglary. They speculated that a burglar had broken into the house, possibly with the intention of robbing the Ramseys, but when JonBenet stumbled upon the intruder, the situation escalated, leading to her death. The pedophile theory. Another theory pointed to the possibility of a child predator, perhaps someone from the Ramseys' social circle or a stranger, being responsible for the crime. The sexual assault on JonBenet and the use of a garrote led some to speculate that the killer had a history of sexual offenses. The media and public's role. Media coverage of the case played a significant role in shaping the public's perception of the investigation. The relentless press coverage not only put immense pressure on law enforcement but also led to the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories. Journalists, eager to find answers, often fueled suspicions and theories without conclusive evidence. The role of DNA evidence. In the years following the murder, DNA evidence played a pivotal role in narrowing down the list of suspects. In 2008, DNA testing on evidence found at the crime scene, including a blood sample on JonBenet's clothing, revealed that the DNA did not match any member of the Ramsey family. This was a crucial development, as it pointed to an unknown male as the possible killer. The discovery of foreign DNA was seen as a breakthrough in the case, and for a time, it suggested that an intruder might have been responsible for JonBenet's death. However, despite this breakthrough, the investigation has not led to a definitive conclusion. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.